have to admit that before our January 2024 trip to Southern California, I didn't think I liked Southern California as much as Northern California. So we were really pleasantly surprised that we found this area so beautiful and so compelling. Our first couple of nights were at the KOA in San Diego, which was really convenient. It was nice, the sites were large, it was clean and well maintained. But I seriously don't think I've ever seen that many crows before.
This is the dog park in the KOA in San Diego.
By the way, that's RV storage behind there. Those aren't campsites.
It sure does.
I was so happy to let Randy take the camper duties back over. And the reason I've come to California with the dogs was to go to the beach. The first one we went to was Ocean Beach in San Diego, which I knew nothing about before we went.
Peppers eating the water. Yeah. Man, this is one picturesque place.
We loved Ocean Beach. It had such a big area for the dogs to play, and the whole town had this cool kind of funky vibe. I didn't realize that there was a place anything like this in San Diego, honestly, but we went back there a couple of times.
All right, there we are, next stop, dog wash. Maybe Hungry Lou's after that.
All right, time for the dog wash. All right, come on. We didn't end up going to Hungry Lou's, but the next day we did come back and eat at Voltaire's Beach House, which was very dog friendly and relaxed, and the food was good.
That is a pretty good looking bowl. It was like a pineapple bowl, or Pineapple Express.
We really liked the fun combination of an old beach town and a hippie community mixed together in Ocean Beach.
It is.
We saw a peace protest, I found a great health food store, and even though I'd never heard of it before, it was one of our favorite places in San Diego. On the other hand, I had such high expectations about Coronado Island. I was looking forward to seeing the dog beach there. I was looking forward to seeing the old historic hotel. And maybe my expectations were just too high. It certainly is pretty. It certainly is well maintained. But it did not do anything special for either Randy or me.
All right. Here we are going to Coronado Dog Park on Coronado Island. That is an awfully nice looking Air Force base.
In all fairness, it could have just been that day. The dog beach was, maybe it was high tide and they were adding sand, so they only left this little strip right by the water for you to walk. And then there were piles of sand, maybe waiting to be spread out, I'm not really sure. The hotel was built in 1888, so this is really a significant historic hotel. And I expected to just find it wonderful. Here we are at Coronado. We've taken the dogs to the dog beach here, which was a bit of a disappointment, but I overheard a conversation, someone saying it's not normally like that. So it looks like they're doing some kind of beach renovation, beach rehabilitation. There are more islands. Yeah, look at the islands
Kind of
off the
artificial
coast.
thing right there in front of the beach.
Yeah, that's what they had at the dog beach too, which made the dog beach very narrow and stressful for all involved. But this is very pretty. I have to admit, it's about my least favorite place we've been.
Yeah.
Yeah. I don't know. I don't know why. Maybe
Less
because it
air
looks more
there.
like Florida. Yeah. Yeah. So I feel just kind of crazy saying that because this is such a famous place. Just the day before, one of Randy's co-workers had been raving. He's from England and he just loved Coronado. That was the only place in San Diego he really loved.
It must be at Christmas time.
There you have
Look,
it.
there are Christmas trees.
Like a little living room.
Yeah.
Christmas living room on the beach. Seagull sitting on top of one.
Also kind of a weird time because the Christmas decorations were still there, but they were looking kind of sad because Christmas was over.
Yeah, that's right.
So if I go back, this could be a place I love, but I didn't love it that day.
Snack. Maybe something to drink. Break from the doggles.
It really was one of those days. We never got food or drink. We couldn't figure out where to order. No one ever came to the table. So we gave up. All right, one part I did love. I love these trees. They were super cool.
I just read that these are the first electrically lighted Christmas trees.
Oh, that's cool.
Yeah.
That's very cool.
But in California, we're never more than just a few minutes from a place we will find absolutely stunning. And for us, Torrey Pines is that place. Dogs aren't allowed at Torrey Pines at all since it's a nature preserve. So we left the dogs back in the camper. We paid $20 to park at the top, which was really a waste of money since we ended up walking down to the beach and back up. It didn't save us any hiking.
That's one.
It isn't. I don't know if this is one or not. I assume it is.
Cactus, that's different. I thought it looked awfully huge.
Oh, Indian fig.
The old lodge is now just a ranger station. It was originally a restaurant, which, oh, that must have been so charming. But now it's still an interesting, pretty building to see. It's kind of funny because it's built with southwestern adobe style from Arizona. So you might think this is kind of an authentic style, but it's sort of imported from the Southwest.
Smell anything?
Something, but nothing I could identify.
I want to find somewhere in the world a candle or a soap or a lotion that captures that smell on the coast of California. There are so many aromatic plants, and as you're hiking, you're getting whiffs of them.
There's no place that smells better than the coast of California.
Mm-hmm. Everywhere you look, it's just beautiful.
Laser point or not.
Okay. Oh man, this is pretty. Up in the air.
All right, we gotta go do that trail now.
Yep. It's a trail. back up now.
So another favorite place in California?
For sure. Definitely right up there with Point Lobos.
So we took the beach trail to the South Loop to see the Broken Hill Overlook. South Fork Trail to see the Broken Hill Overlook.
At this point, the trail became the original road between San Diego and LA.
I didn't know that Model Ts use gravity to deliver gasoline to the engine, and that's why they had trouble with those. I knew they were, yeah. After our hike, and where are we now?
Solana Beach.
Solana Beach. We're gonna meet me and James for dinner in Del Mar in a little bit.
This is Solana Beach. Yeah. It's actually darker than it looks on.
I love that there's a dog in this mural.
We stopped in Solana Beach to get coffee. We didn't know anything about it, but of course it's another beautiful coastal California town. It was so cool because each town we stopped in had its own personality. So it was fun. I mean, we spent a week in this relatively small area, and while the Randy was working, I would go out every day and discover each of these little communities, and I would love to go back to Solana Beach again. We actually were wishing that we had decided to eat at Cindy's Snack Shack because the food looked so good. Of course, we enjoyed Koya Peruvian food in Del Mar, where we did eat. So we actually spent the full week in Guajome Regional Park in Oceanside. This was a last-minute change. We had planned to boondock all week, but after my experience with the dead batteries, which we were replacing, I was nervous about any boondocking more than one night. And this was a great park. There were so many trails. It was really well used and well maintained. The only drawback was our campsite was right by one of the main trails that went through the park, so the dogs were always excited and barking at someone behind us. But the campground was really well maintained. It was so pretty. Obviously, there was a lot of bird life, but not only that, we saw a coyote in the campground and so many rabbits, which was really funny to me that you would see so many rabbits and a coyote.
The other piece of the park is this lovely lake with many ducks. In the campground, there are a lot of rabbits.
And I just couldn't resist. I did get to geek out on the birds. There were so many interesting water birds too. If I left the dogs behind, I could go and watch them. So as I said, I really did love this part of California, but you don't have a place this neat and tidy without a lot of rules, and I maybe broke one. I don't know. I put these fairy lights out. I had not tied them to anything. I had only draped them, but I got a notice on the camper door after just a few hours that I was not supposed to tie ropes or lines to trees, and so I took my fairy lights down. So where we were camping was in Oceanside, but not right on the beach. You could, though, and I did once, ride my bike. It's a 9-mile ride on bike trails, completely separate from the road, to the beach. I thought all the towns along the stretch of ocean were really interesting and cute, but some of them honestly do have a very ritzy feel. Oceanside feels much more real, much more mixed income levels, well, as mixed as it gets on coastal California. But we really liked Oceanside. Even though it was wintertime, it felt like a summer beach town from the 1950s. That night I rode my bike to town. Randy met me after work with his bike, and he shot this video. I just have to say that because I would not be riding my bicycle right exactly where he is in this shot. Without even looking, I know it was a Thursday because Randy and I ate dinner at the boardwalk at this cute little fish restaurant, and we were amazed there weren't more people around. What I know now is that everyone else was at the night market, which I do get to go to in April, and I'm going to make that video soon when I went back and went to the night market. But we didn't know about the night market then. Over here. All right, tell me again, what's your favorite beach town you visited?
Oceanside, which is where we are right now.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'd like to come back here in the summer. My daughter Milana had a couple of days off while I was there, and one day we went to the Antique Steam and Gas Engine Museum that's right by Guajome Regional Park. I'll be honest, she and I don't really know a lot about engines, so we didn't spend a lot of time. We were more interested in these little critters that we saw for the first time. Remember, we were not from California, and she had just been there a few months. Still don't know what it is. So we didn't know these ground squirrels are just pests to Californians. We thought they were really cute. How big are they? Because it's like the size of a cat. What'd you get, Mimi?
A chai tea latte.
At Sleeping Tiger Coffee Shop next to Witch Creek Winery. Yes, or included in. But next to them is a place called
The Strawberry
the
Shack.
Strawberry Shack, which we really want to go get something from. I don't know if I'm going to get to have my wish of going somewhere on the train on this visit.
On the Wednesday of that week, Milana and I went to the Carlsbad Farmers Market after she got off work and found some really delicious food.
Now we're at the Village Market in Carlsbad. Really enjoying ourselves.
Oh, yes, I was there and I did help take up because, yeah, maybe you thought. Forget that.
Such beautiful
Forget
fruits
it
and
all. Well, nice to meet you, Brian.
delicious cheese. I made breakfast with some gluten-free quinoa bread and cheese I bought at the Carlsbad Farmers Market yesterday. This cheese is delicious. I had a sample. Ragged Point by Stepladder Creamery. And the bread is from Island Girl Bakes.
So Milana and James actually live in San Clemente, and we did spend one evening there with them. San Clemente is utterly charming, and I'm not really sure why we didn't spend as much time there. I guess it's because we were camping in Oceanside, and Mimi and James only had a couple of nights where they were both off and could meet us for dinner. Dogs aren't allowed on the beach in San Clemente, but there is a trail that runs along the backside of the beach, so we could still take a nice walk at sunset and then marvel at the dreamy life of California. On Sunday, we went to San Juan Capistrano, which is a place that kind of has a mythological feel to me because I've heard about it my entire life. We went partly because Mimi and James were going to the Greek church, which is right by the old Spanish mission. So we went to church, and then we went to the mission. I don't have much videotape from this trip because in the mission you had to get permits and everything if you were going to videotape. The mission was so worth the admission price. Now, James got in free because he's a Marine, and Mimi got a discount because she's married to a Marine. But even if you pay full price, it's still worth it. If you're interested in history, if you're interested in gardens, if you just want a pretty place to walk around. So we just went to Mission San Juan Capistrano,
We did with Mimi and James.
and now we're having lunch at Bloom, right across the street.
Yep, I have a very tasty cocktail.
It's a cute town.
Yeah,
There's a sign by the Mission that says "worth a visit," which is true. Definitely worth a visit.
definitely worth it.
Mimi. So we're hiking the, what's this called?
San Juan Trail, maybe?
Maybe so. And the starts with a C. National Forest.
Cleveland.
Cleveland, it is. It's Cleveland National Forest. One day, Milana and I went a little further inland and took a really nice hike. Now, I will say, if you're not from California like me, it's sort of, you have to get used to the idea that you have to check everywhere to make sure dogs are really allowed. And also you have to check and see if you need a permit, because we did have to pay a fee to do this hike, which is not something we're used to here in Georgia. All right, so we finished our hike, which was really very pleasant and beautiful. And then we stopped across the street at Ortega Candy Store. Ortega Oaks Candy Store. And found out they have the most amazing gluten-free pastries, which we would just show you, but they're, well, actually,
I just ate one.
we do have gluten-free cowboy cookies still. Pull one out and show the camera how big and delicious they look. And the man who runs it with his wife, yes, has celiac and he takes it very seriously, so we're very excited for that night. And now we're driving down to Lake Elsinore. So if you've watched my other videos about my drive from Atlanta to California by myself, you'll know I developed a terrible fear of driving in high places. So Highway 74 was very exciting for me because it turns out it is notorious for being kind of a scary up-high road, but we made it.
Let the good times roll. Down, I'll never come down.
That is, when it comes around a curve and it's just space, yeah, that's that. Turn out in quarter mile. There's no way on God's green earth I would turn out right now. I don't care if I have to go 5 miles an hour, I'm not stopping. Oh my goodness! This is truly bad. I hope this is the top. Are we almost to the top? I know I am sort of in your lane, that would be worse. Okay. We really loved our week in this part of California. So now I can't say I like Northern California better than Southern California because I like them both. We went on from here to Central California, but it was really hard and we almost gave up RV camping totally on the way. Oh, but that story is for another day.
Nothing to do. These days they come and go. Nothing to lose. I feel it in my soul. So let's let the good times roll. So let's let the good times roll. So let's let the good times roll.